Hi, I'm Hannah Strobel,
Stephen Draper,
Abby McKeever,
Adrian Hecking,
Carlos Pereda,
and this is our presentation on Islam authoritarian collapse.
Islam authoritarian collapse.
Islam authoritarian collapse.
Islam collapse.
Islam authority collapse.
The combination of Islamic State, authoritarian state, and state of collapse. How will Pakistan end up as an Islam authoritarian collapse state? Pakistan has had several dictators over its history, and the people have become quite sick of them. They have started to embrace democracy more and have had officials actually finish their terms in office, a real step for Pakistan. Ultimately, another dictator will come to the scene and take over. The people will not stand for this and will rebel. The military will push back and war will ensue. The Taliban will take advantage of the chaos and the people's lack of military experience and attempt to help them. The people will not stand for this either, because of the past atrocities of the Taliban. All three parties will fight each other, thus authoritarian, Islamic, and collapse into endless war.
Pakistan has had a long history of dictators. It has been an on and off struggle between a democratic government and an authoritarian state. Starting in 1958, which was 11 years after Pakistan's inception, Ayub Khan took over the Pakistani government. He ruled Pakistan for over 11 years. Pakistan then became a democratic nation, only to be taken over by General Zia in 1977. 11 years later, in 1988, General Zia was assassinated and a democratic government was reinstated. That democratic government stood for 11 years, until 1999 when Pervez Musharraf took over. Musharraf then stepped out of the way in 2008. There has been a trend in Pakistani history where a new dictator comes along about every 11 years of an established democratic government. This indicates that in 2019, 11 years from the time Musharraf's rule ended, Pakistan will end up with another person trying to take power.
Imran Khan will be elected as Prime Minister and will install an authoritarian state. Being an Oxford graduate, a world-renowned cricket player, and using his physical appearance to his advantage, Imran Khan climbed up the political ladder. In 2013, his party grew through the support of the youth in Pakistan. The younger generation voted for him because of his ideas of developing power to villages and depoliticizing police. However, they also supported a man with anti-American and negative foreign policy views and strong beliefs as Islamization. When he ran for Prime Minister yet again in 2024, he not only won the votes of the people, but the support of the military as well. A source from New York Times states that he had strong relationships with the military. It also noted that during the 2013 elections, Mr. Khan insisted that his party had been cheated out. He decided to aggressively dispute the vote, and when the courts did not agree, he took to staging sit-ins and marches that blocked Parliament for months, demanding the resignation of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's government. Mr. Khan's critics saw his street protests as a bid for power, hoping to get Pakistan's powerful military to step in, as it had done many before, and oust Mr. Sharif, paving the way for Mr. Khan to take over. He denied that, but when he invoked a cricketing term that a third umpire would resolve the dispute, many saw that as a call for military intervention. During the 2013 elections, the military coup was unsuccessful. However, when Khan was voted in office in the 2024 elections, he had such a good relationship with the military already that a seemingly democratic prime minister became a military dictator. Imran Khan manipulated the people to get what he desired, so yet another military takeover or coup was put into the history books. So that is how Imran Khan will become the authoritarian ruler of Pakistan. But will the people stand for it?
The people would fight against a dictator for a couple of reasons. First, the people have learned from their past with previous bad experiences with dictators including General Zia and Musharraf. This has recently been demonstrated because a few years ago Pakistan just became a democracy, with much less political corruption, and for the first time in 66 years a leader was able to serve a full term. Next, currently Pakistan's democracy looks good so far. No leaders have currently taken over and there haven't been attacks causing them their life. Lastly, more and more people are also fighting for their rights in country. Examples of this include the lawyers' movement, Malala's fight for education, and more recently, in April 2015, people from Karachi were protesting against extremists. However, would the people be the only ones to rise up?
The Taliban will join in the fighting too. In an effort to win over the citizens of Pakistan and gain their trust, they will engage in endless fighting against the military and dictator Imran Khan. The goal of the Taliban is to overthrow Khan, set up a government in the country of their own, and ultimately Islamize it by implementing rules that correspond with the Islamic Sharia law. Their target after they overthrow the government is destroying all infidels and ridding Pakistan of all non-Muslims. But the people of Pakistan will not stand for this.
So that is how Pakistan will fall into a state of Islamophoria collapse. You may think that this conclusion may not be practical, but you have to keep in mind that this is happening right now in Syria. The people in Syria have a dictator, and they decided that enough was enough. They had a peaceful protest, and the dictator fought back with violence. After a while of fighting, ISIS offered to help. The people of Syria didn't want ISIS either, they just want freedom. Now they all fight, without an end in sight. Other countries attempt to help, and it has done nothing or made it worse. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Here's our sources.